everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. With the season winding down, thoughts are already beginning to turn to the playoffs. But you gotta play it out to the end. So these gals need to keep the focus on this game and not start looking ahead to the postseason. It's the 49ers going up against the Seahawks. So for the call of this Week 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in after a loss last time out, but they've still been in good form. Winners of 6 of their last 8. On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Cam has all the skills that you're looking for. The arm that can do everything. The ability to run, hard to bring down because of his size. But the joy that he plays the game, I think that's his stock in trade. That's his calling card. That's what sets him apart from other players.
They come up in an offset eye. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken about the 12. Now a play fake here on first down. Able to shake him off. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now it's Lockett. appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. First down, this is Rawls. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Second down following the run. On 2nd down, Wilson steps away to his left and avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 3 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
They run with a power back, Rawls. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So it'll be first down here after the run. On first down, Wilson. And he whips that one incomplete there. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Wilson again to Rawls. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Their big tight end with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. To throw on second down is Newton. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back.
Yeah.
He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Newton now to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Quick throw that's complete on the inside slam. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. Plenty of scoring here already. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the gun on third down, Newton. Benjamin with it over the middle. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here we go on fourth. Newton. He's got the completion to Strong. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. On the ground, it's Reddick. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Now that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the nifty hurdle allows him to snag the extra yardage for the first before the tackle. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And this seemingly endless drive continues. They go back to Riddick. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Newton. And that is incomplete. Tony Dorsett, the intended target, and it brings up 4th down. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't, but really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got to a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On 2nd down, Rawls. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. Here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Wilson snags it left side. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. 2nd down now after the pass completion. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box.
Yes.
We'll be sending you to Orlando where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Send me to Orlando, please.
Don't be so soft. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now it's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On first down, Newton. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Second and 10, Newton again. And he comes back with 1 complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Newton on third down. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here comes the 49ers punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Fair catch called for and made, but they may back him up 10 here and have him do it again.
Holding, receiving team.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a second and 3. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They go again with Rawls. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you now to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, LR.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Seahawks have cruised into halftime with the lead. The 49ers came into today's game coming off an impressive win. They'll need to turn it around to find their way back in the win column. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. First and 10. Here we'll get a fumble on the return. Seahawks would pick it up and score. They strike first in the half. Seahawks have it midway through the first. Wilson's got the completion out of the gun. And the play will come to an end after a gain of 30. Same drive. Wilson's on point with the throw. This play goes for a score. That puts them on top by 14. Seahawks on second and 7. Wilson's on target here, and it's going to end up going for a gain of 17. Seahawks end up throwing a pick to win the drive. that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to Seattle for the start of the second half.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The drive starts with C.J. Prosise. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
First chance for the backup here to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Let's go. To throw now on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 2nd down following the incompletion. Prosise. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And the cutback to the sideline. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing, offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
And we saw that advantage right there. They'll drop the throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll set up a throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Eric Armstead able to drop him for a loss of 4.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
And it's 21-3. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start. Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Looking right sideline, that's complete. He's at the 30. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there, 85 yards. And the 49ers get a score closer.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that And when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. They'll run with Procise. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
On first down, Procise. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On the left side, it's complete. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll try and run down here with Procise. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good red zone run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and goal. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. This could very well be 4-down territory, but right now we focus on 3rd and goal from the 1. They'll run it. This is Procise. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. C.J. Procise, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Seahawks defense heads back out there now. Last drive, touchdown surrendered. Here, see if they can stop them.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad, but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And probably look to the leaders as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, let's do this thing. Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On first down, it's Newton. He's got time. Gets it to Strong. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On second down, here's Newton. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Theo Riddick, his third touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He'll dump it off to Procise. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a third down. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
They'll look to throw, and he finds his man. It's Duarte. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on fourth.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's fourth down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12.
Here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Back to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come up in an offset eye. This is Procise on the carry. And they'll get him down right about the 20. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. A 2nd down carry for Procise. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And he didn't get it there. No, it's no good. Just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate. It might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores. So you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back. But that may not matter now.
Now it's Newton. Strong grabs it over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And under 20 seconds now as the spike comes with 18 ticks remaining. Now Newton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And that'll bring up a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And a great spot to start this drive from here.
Let's go! Ohio!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. Oh, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for the Seahawks, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Niners, it'll be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 6-10. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.